Hello, I'm Dr. Greg Timbrell, and this is the Business of IT. Today, I'm talking about digital strategy. There are 5 steps that you can employ in a digital strategy. The first step is to plan your strategy. The second step is to communicate and decide which communication channels you're going to use in your strategy. The third step is to get those customers that you want and have targeted in your segments, get them involved in your product or service and information about it. The fourth step is to convert them from being involved and being interested to making a sale. And then the fifth step is, once you've got a customer in your segment having made a sale, then you want to continue to communicate to them about further products. When planning your digital strategy, one of the things that you have to determine are what your measures of success will be. Those measures of success may vary, but certainly when you're communicating to your audience, you may want to know how many new visitors that you have to a site, or the cost per click, that is the cost per click every time a visitor comes to your site and creates an action within that site. You may want to know a measure such as the lead conversion rate, that is, from a lead heading towards a sale. And for each lead, because there are always costs involved with digital strategy, you might want to know what the cost per lead is going to be. And of course, you'll also want to know what the conversion rate from those leads to the sales are going to be, and perhaps how much each sale is worth, or how much each order is worth. And in terms of the ongoing communication for your digital strategy, in the ongoing communication phase, you may want to know how many people are following your product or service or company on social media, and perhaps who are active and who are advocating your product on social media. When communicating with your customers, you're going to have a number of channels, and the channels will tend to be both online and offline. The online channels will include things like search engines, advertisements on various sites. You might have online partnerships with other organizations who are in your industry or in associated industries. You might employ social media marketing, Facebook, Twitter, and get a social presence around your brand, product, or service. You may use email to communicate both before and after a sale. And of course, with the offline activities, these will tend to be advertising, television, personal selling, sales promotion, exhibitions, and other types of activities. The important thing is, of course, to make sure that you are coordinating your offline and your online activities together. Once you've got good communication channels opened up with your customer base, then you want to get them involved in your product or service. The ways that you can get them involved is through entertaining them, perhaps with games or special videos, online videos, YouTube clips, tutorials, but these may also educate them around the products and services. Or perhaps you can have online information services, help and support, and other celebrity, say, endorsements that may promote your product or service. You may also run online events. Many people do this, webinars, seminars, and other presentations about your product and service. By getting them involved and by educating them about your product or service, you are going to take the customer to the next step, which is to make a sale. Making a sale is encouraging your customers to actually buy either online or in store, depending on the type of product and depending on your combined digital, online and offline strategy. When asking them to make a sale, to commit to buy, then you've got to make it easy for them, of course, and there are plenty of e-commerce solutions such as PayPal and other banking systems which allow them to make purchases of your product and service quite simply. Of course, as you're doing this, you need to ensure that you are appealing to the basic principles and behaviours of the different types of customer segments that you may be dealing with. Different customers may have different types of personalities and behaviours. Some customers like to know the fine details and the fine print about the certain features, the functions, the specifications of the particular product. Others want to know who else has bought them, and that may spur you onto social media types of advertising campaigns. Of course, there are others who want to know why your product is better than the other products. What's the competitive advantage? What differentiates your product from other products, and what gives them some compelling reason to buy your product? Finally, you might have a type of person who just wants to spontaneously buy it because they've seen it, they've liked it, and they just want to take it on. So that's great. That's the best type of customer. The final step in the digital strategy is the ongoing communication with your customers. Ongoing communication can be done by email, it can be done by online websites where they have certain support privileges, where they log in and can access support and advice about the product or service. It could be some way that you communicate with them through Twitter, Facebook or other social media channels, Instagram for example. And the next and most important thing you need to do in this continuing communication is to ensure that you are planning how you're going to take that communication to the next sale. Most people will tell you that it is much cheaper and easier to sell to an existing customer than a new customer. Just recapping the 5 steps of a digital strategy. The first step is to plan your strategy. The second step, communicate, figure out what channels of communication you're going to employ in the creation of your digital strategy. The third step is to get involvement from the customers within your digital strategy so that getting them involved, you can take the fourth step is to take and convert them from some interest to making a sale of your product. That is, you make a sale, they spend some money with you, and you continue to thrive as a company. The fifth and final step is that once you have engaged your customer, you need to keep that engagement continuing through communication via the channels that they use and employ. And this is the business of IT.